mainstream news around the world, most likely because it was too shocking. The next crop circle that occurred was a reply to this. In 1972, Carl Sagan and other physicists, astrophysicists, figured that we had just finished building the Arecibo radio telescope, the largest radio telescope on Earth, and we had the opportunity to send a very strong signal into the universe that could reach a faraway planet one day. And maybe they would decode the signal and then send the signal back. And then it would reach our planet one day. And we would know that there's living entities out there. But that would take a few thousand years. They still decided to send a signal to give a chance to our grandchildren to get, a chance to have a talk with other beings out there. So they figured out a way to send a signal that would be the easiest for others to decode. They use a binary code of ones and zeros, just like a computer, and that can be transferred to a punch card, just like a computer punch card. Okay? And what does it say? It says, we're made out of carbon. This is our chart of elements. This is our DNA. We have a small head, big body. We live on the third planet from our sun. And you see, that's the sun, that's the third planet we live on. And this is the Arecibo radio telescope we're sending this way. This is the technology we're sending this way, a radio telescope. So they sent it in 1972, and 2 summers ago, across a radio telescope, commonly hired by SETI to listen for a reply, came 2 crop circles, one being a reply to the Arecibo radio telescope signal, and the other one being a nice little mugshot. Did you hear about that crop circle? No. When SETI was asked about this, SETI is the NASA, search for extraterrestrial life. They're listening with huge radio telescope to see if they can hear something out there that would be life on another planet. One day I'm going to make a comic strip with a huge radio telescope, a SETI guy with the big earmuffs, listening, and in the background, back here, a little UFO. When they saw this, they said, well, it's got to be a hoax. Because if they wanted to talk to us, they wouldn't have sent a crop circle. The radio telescope was right beside it. Why didn't they just send a radio signal? Well, my reply to that is, if they would have sent a radio signal, you and I would never have heard about it. Maybe they wanted to talk to all of the people of the planet, not just a few agencies, right? So instead, they sent instead of a radio signal, they put the crop circles reply directly across from the radio telescope. And you got to realize that here you have a governmental installation that has infrared cameras, guards, and all of this. Nobody saw nothing. Right? And it's not like Doug and Dave can go in that field and do that all night and nobody noticed.
One thing, is it's like, why would the UFOs, like aliens, talk to us using crop circles? Because we need food. That's the best way to communicate with us. Is, and that's why a lot of things happen with farmers and things like that, because they tend to their crops. And when they notice that things are out of place or something of that nature, then, that's how these come up. And yeah, there's been hoax. But, no. The two couple.
And then, when you look closely, the woven pattern of the hay are not reproducible readily in the middle of the night stomping around. The actual mugshot is an incredible pattern that generates a negative image of a picture. And you can tell that that being has large eyes, a small nose, a small mouth. And the reply says, this is what we sent, this is what came back. It says, we are carbon and silica. Our table of elements is very similar. It says we have a 3-strand DNA structure. It says we have a big head and a small body. We live on 3 of the planets of our solar system. The third one has 4 moons. And this is the technology we're sending this way. Now, this is not subject to interpretation. This is a binary code. They're talking to us directly. Okay? Now, when I saw this, I got really excited because I'm like, oh my God, they give us a blueprint of their technology. It's right there on the bottom. I'm like, whoa, what is this? Well, the resolution is really poor, so you can't tell what the heck it is. Well, they thought about that. They were nice about that. Because a year prior to this reply to the irresistible message, in the exact same field, a year to the date of the reply, prior to the reply, to the date, this crop circle occurred.
A year to the date. And so they got it. Now, the thing is, that gives us a time frame. It was 1972, and I think this was in 2000. I've watched this many a times. I mean, so I believe this is definitely early 2000s, but let's just say it was 2010. Let's just say that, I think this is before that. I think it was actually like 2002 itself. Well, it was at least after 2001, because there's another image I'll show you too. So 30, 40 years, okay, they got a signal. The thing is that they had the technology to receive the signal, and they decoded it, and 40 years later, they sent us the message. They sent us the technology, and so we could develop that, so we could actually hear the message. And this goes into the black budget, this goes into the Space Force, this goes into disclosure, this goes into the entities.
Which is exactly what's at the bottom of the reply. Just to make sure we had a high resolution blueprint of how they're using their technology. Here's your radio telescope. It's the exact same installation. You can see here the fence, and all the security equipment And this is right across from it. And that's what it looks like. Fractal.
So it definitely looks like a directed energy weapon. Well, I shouldn't say weapon, technology. And almost looks like a satellite. Because it's, oops. Go away. Because it's like, that's the dish. And that's the little, and that's the, vocal, the energy. Those are like the capacitors or something of that nature. And so, oops. And so, build a satellite dish. Something like that. But, so, pretty interesting. Oops.
Tetrahedron geometry spheres. So here, they're telling us directly, and notice, that the sphere are fractalizing to smaller and smaller outside and fractalizing towards singularity on the inside.
Silicon is synthetic polymer made of the chemical element silicon. Silicon is most often found as silica, an oxide of silicon, and also the main constituent part of sands. Silicon is primarily made of silicon, but also includes oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. Silica is melted in the furnace at around 1700 degrees centigrade and is reacted with carbon to produce impure silicon. The high quality silicon in chips is made by melting chemically purified silicon and letting it recrystallize slowly. Nohira and his colleagues can convert silica into silicon without melting. And so, just remember what was just said, right? Those beings are, silicon, and we're more carbon, and we're more carbon based. Hold on.
The reply says, this is what we sent, this is what came back. It says, we are carbon and silica. Incredible. And
so yeah, silica is one of the most complex, most abundant families of materials existing as a compound of several materials. So it seems like, and especially because they're sending us technology, if they've communicated with us, and we've got this technology now, and that's the thing, is that we're carrying these aliens with us. We're replicating them, and we're creating avenues for these beings to communicate with us or to visit us. And this has been withheld from the public because people just would not understand, and they haven't been accustomed to it. And so people think, and the thing is, I've had my experiences with things, and I'm still trying to better understand them. It happened when I was in Louisiana and such. When I got hacked, it's like there's people that know things, and I'm through that hacking and stuff, and like that's why I get weirded out by the computer code, or like spells and magic and stuff, is because these people in powerful positions or in authoritative positions will and have used this technology against us. But let's continue.
that's not the only thing they've been contacting us with. A year after the Arecibo message reply, to the date, so this was a year prior, right? So the Arecibo message came in, At the bottom of the Arecibo message, there was a technology which they had put a year prior, right? Now we're going to go a year after, so last, and fractalizing towards singularity on the inside. Now, that's just incredible.
Oh, blast it. Hold on. So, this is, oh, let me, wait for us to finish that. Okay, so, August 21st, 2001, at 2 rectangular blocks. And that's the, and this goes through the, everything starts decoding it. And then 2002, Gibraltar crop circle. And, just kind of coincidental that friggin' happened on my birthday. Alright, so my information is a little off going through these sites, but this is a really good one. And it seems like June is a very big month for, or I shouldn't say June, summer is a really good time for, look, all the way, for crop circles. And the thing is, I believe that these are, we'll just go back to the last one. Because Alien told in a CD, right? And what that comes down to, especially with everything else that we've been seeing, is that the technology has been suppressed. And, these beings have been all around us. They taught us these things. It's like, here, we're going to give this to, the people of the world. But August is a very busy time for crop circles, and just because go to, or summer, but 2001, was huge. This is a great little website, but just recall that this is about 11 months before 9/11 happened, or after 9/11 happened, and it's been decoded. Go away.
Smaller and smaller outside and fractalizing towards singularity on the inside. Now, that's just incredible. And that's not the only thing they've been contacting us with. A year after the Arecibo message reply, to the date, so this was a year prior, right? So the Arecibo message came in. At the bottom of the Arecibo message, there was a technology which they had put a year prior, right? Now we're going to go a year after, so last summer, midsummer, a crop circle occurred exactly the same day, but a year later, and this one was an enormous crop circle, almost 2 football field long, again across a large installation communication antenna, which has security all around it. Right across road, this is a huge crop circle. Can everybody see what it is? It's the side view of an alien head with a big eye, the nose, the mouth. Can everybody see that?
Just remember, this is about just under a year after 9/11, and just pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see it better here? See his eye, his nose,
And it's huge. Like they mentioned. Like this is supposed to be heard.
his mouth. And look up here in front. He's got a hand like this. Right? It's the other hand. Right? Like this. And he's holding on to a CD. That's his thumb here, and that's his hand. Okay? He's holding on to a CD. They figured those guys are at CD technology level. We'll burn them one. So they burned us a CD, and sure enough, on the CD is a string of a binary.
So, you know, like that goes into the technology thing, you know. Why aren't the powers that be sharing this information with the rest of the world? And, you know, so they gave us technology that everyone has. We've been watched, and we're being watched. You know, there's so many things that go on with our cell phones that people just don't understand. And this is why they can be considered evil. This is why they can be considered, I mean, they're an organism within itself. It's a self that can transform. It's metamorphic. You know, it's a wallet. It's information. It's a newspaper. It's a telephone. It's a video camera. It's a regular camera. It's a level. It's a compass. You know, like people. There's a lot of technology that goes on in these, in phones and such. And it's like, well, where the hell did we get this technology from? Apparently, we've been being taught this. You know, we've been. People have been guiding us. Entities have been guiding us this whole entire time. And what it comes down to is that people have suppressed the technology for their own greed. And so really listen to the message here.
Oh. What happens when you play that CD? Well, that binary code was decoded, and here's what it says. Be aware of false gifts, their broken promises. This was last summer. Have we seen broken promises, false gifts?
And that's what, you know, goes into the whole time frame. You just said last summer. And so this is basically, you know, a warning about 9/11.
Their broken promises. This was last summer. Have we seen broken promises this year? Oh my God. This is very interesting.
Alright, so this is 2001. And notice they start appearing in May. And that's a Rayleigh, is that how you say it? Rayleigh triangle? Shapes of equal width. You know, so these are not, you know, easy to do. You know, and then, you know, we get to June and thinking that there's only 4, you know, pyramid, sunrise, June, you know. And it's like, friggin' all this energy is going into one, you know, it's kind of, you know, I don't want to go to. No, 3 bowling areas at Bannister, what, you know, so there's a lot to understand here, you know, but just pay attention to these dates. Like I said, it seems like a lot of them, you know, that almost looks like a yin-yang over there on the right. I said almost. But very. And this is a lot of fractals and stuff. And let's just. Wow, now. And so. This is a really good website for these crop circles. And that one, the Mill Hill, Wiltshire, talk about fractals. And, you know, that's, you can't do that freaking being drunken with wooden planks. Ends in the night. You know, and this is technology. You know, and then boom, there's the punch card. The 20th of August. And now both of them right there. Right next to it. You know, and then it ends. And let's see, what year haven't I checked out? Well, I've done like pretty much the 2000s. Let's go to 96. Let's just check that out. Let's see if there's a trend here. You know, with oilseed rape. But it starts in May. And we're just gonna go to the end, July. Go to the 5th. And it ends August. Alright, let's just go. So that's what I'm saying, is that they tend to happen during the summer. Let's see what happens. You know, let's check out 2016. Friggin' a swastika. Fascism. Wow. You know, August. And it's crazy, it just started in August. You know, and that looks like a puzzle piece down there on the left. Heart. You know, but it almost looks like a little vice, too. Wow. But that's all that was for 2000s. And when was the last one? June. You know, May the June. Let's check out 1999. April. That's the earliest I've seen it so far. Is April. And what the fuck is oilseed rape? Ohio? Mark Hill, Wiltshire, oilseed rape? What the fuck? That's crazy. Come on, I said click. Oops. I just clicked too much. Just going down to the wow, there's a lot in 2000. Jeez, and we haven't even gotten to all of them. Or 1999. Ends in August. So it seems like, because that's when we're closest to the sun, it seems like that's when they're better able to communicate with us. And that looks like panspermia. That looks like a wavelength, right? You know, so we're being watched, if y'all can't tell. But let's just continue with the video, and I'm going to conclude this. But, did the aliens try to warn us about 9/11? Or did not, you know, did the governments make a promise to others that did, other entities, aliens, that they did not keep their promise to? Like, did they make a promise that they didn't keep to aliens?
Much pain, but still time. Certainly a message of hope for all the people that have been working towards. Oh my God. This is very interesting. Much pain, but
hold on, let me go back.
This was last summer. Be aware of false gifts, their broken promises. This was last summer. Have we seen broken promises this year? Oh my God. This is very interesting. Much pain, but still time. Certainly a message of hope for all the people that have been working towards a new way of doing the people that have been working towards a new way of doing things on this planet. Believe there is good out there. And then we oppose deception. And the end has a bell sound. This is ASCII code, so there's a bell sound.
And I oppose deception as well. I try to be the most honest, upfront person I can be. And, unfortunately, it's very difficult in this world because I make myself very vulnerable. Just try to put everything out there. Like, I'm not trying to hide behind anything. I am who I am, and this is what I'm about. And so yeah, I'm definitely I definitely oppose deception.
Basically, to end a transmission. So I haven't had time to work on this so much because I'm publishing a unified field theory with a lot of math and a lot of work in it. And so I haven't had time to work on this, but I am convinced that there is an underlying code as well in this. Because these capitalizations are actually part of the code. So if you only read the words that are capitalized, you have false, broken promises, pain, believe, good, OP, deception.
What I would say, maybe I should try to learn code, but I would freaking do binary on those and see the numbers that came out, and then plug that in to something. Because G has a code behind it, just like 4 has a value to it.
I don't know what OP deception is. Could be other people, could be many things. But go ahead.
Are the capitals at the beginning of the sentences part of the code?
Yes, they are.
How about the office of the president?
Office of the President. Office of President deception. We definitely have seen this year.
Does the bell sound have a certain frequency?
I don't think it. I might have to verify. And I've been going on the net this year to see the crop circles of August, and the page is not updated past the 10th or the 11th. So I'm anxiously waiting to see if there's been another message this year. Direct.
So, from what we can tell, is that this is 2002. So the messages were originally decoded in 2001, 2002, and
binary message. There's been
2003.
Many crop circles this year.
Usually, apparently, August 15 is always close to this radio telescope.
I'm sorry?
Is this close to radio telescope?
Well, it's in England. The two that we saw, the two first one were right beside the radio telescope. The third one is further from the radio telescope, but then again, it's right beside a huge repeater antenna, which implies communication. So here, we're being talked to directly. They are getting closer and closer to contact. We're going to see this afternoon a little bit more of the influence that other species in our galaxy may have had on our planet early in its evolution, and how that relates to our current physics, and how that relates to the physics that I'm presenting to you today. Because there's a direct relationship. And it has to do with some of the monuments that are found all around the Earth.
So, dude, it's ancient alien, theories before it was popularized. I didn't believe in a lot of the stuff at this point in time. The only thing I believed is that we weren't being told the whole truth about 9/11, and I knew that the first day, when it happened, because of Flight 93, the plane was shot down. I knew that because it's, you have 3 planes hit their targets, and this other one's going rogue. Well, you chop off the finger to save the hand, right? And I totally forgot about what. Oh yeah. So that's the thing is, the aliens are among us. We've receiving their genetic code, and the thing is that we can either blend with their species, or we can, we can abuse the technology, and I must admit, I've abused the technology, and I still do. It's pretty nice to have instant gratification, and that's because I'm a sapiophile. I love to do research and things of that nature. So, and now look at porn too. So freaking, I'm far from a saint. The internet has become a toxic place due to places like Twitter and such, and people want to think that 4chan and Anonymous and Pepe are all bad and stuff, and it's like, nah, like there are people that are having fun because they're in control of things. They are, but they're being responsible with it. They're being foolish. Did I just lose it? Oh, okay. But yeah, they're being foolish with it and stuff. Like Department of Defense, they spend, they use this technology to kill people and such instead of spreading diplomacy. Why not create an app that brings people together? Shit, Rick and Morty did an episode on that. With that one alien that, had the post on its head saying, do not make an app with them, or whatever it said, right? And I talk about witches and witchcraft a lot. Me, magic is real. And so I don't know if I adjusted my settings. So it might be all kind of weird right now. Mind it.